For sure, them belts coming with me. They coming home with me. I'm telling you right
now. You
now.
can see it, but it's gonna be difficult. You take it to your home.
I'm taking them. And ain't nothing you gonna be able to do about it come fight
and
night.
I know Turkey's in your corner,
I promise you.
But look, it's gonna be very difficult. He's gonna be so mad that day. Believe me.
Even though Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez promised to keep it respectful, that didn't last long. The press conference quickly turned into a heated back and forth, full of sharp words and rising tension.
True fight. Yeah, true fight. But true fight. True, yeah, of course. No, I'm not YouTuber fight. Huh? Not YouTuber fighters. Yeah, of course.
They need to talk and talk about fight because they want to say something. The people know we are great fighters. They want to put a great fight. Yeah. We don't know stuff.
I am sure in the end of September.
Both fighters tossed aside any respect and came at each other hard, just like they would with any rival. And if you're wondering who started the fire, well, you already know.
I see you. I see you. You see I'm different.
I see you too.
You see I'm different than all the other ones.
No, I see you. No, you don't know different. You're nothing different.
I'm different.
Nothing different.
I'm different.
We'll see.
You're gonna see.
We'll
know
see.
it.
We'll see. We'll see.
In what's being called the fight of the century, Alvarez made it clear he doesn't think this will be a close one. With Crawford moving up from light middleweight, Canelo once said beating him wouldn't prove much. When asked how a loss to Crawford, a two-time undisputed champ, might affect his legacy, the 34-year-old Mexican stayed ice cold. He's not going to beat me. Don't worry. This fight will go down in boxing history.
He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna be in the books of the history of boxing for sure. That's for sure.
He's a great fighter, but he's not Canelo. I've got the experience. Alvarez said at the press conference, "People always focus on my power, but I've got more than that. This fight will be one of the best on my record." At 34, Canelo may be younger by 3 years, but he turned pro at 15 with 67 fights, 11 world titles, and 27 world title bouts. He's seen as the icon ready to pass the torch. He's not beating me, Canelo said again, drawing a laugh from Crawford, who replied, "These belts are coming home with me."
Streets, you and Canelo, what would it look like?
Come on, man. Yeah, I know what I do. I ain't got to talk about it on the streets. I'm me against anybody. I ain't never gonna say another man gonna whoop me. So, you know what I mean? That's your answer right there.
I guess in Guadalajara, you think it'd be a little different on the streets if Terence came to town?
I think every city, every place is different, no? It's different. But we don't talking about the streets. We're talking about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing. So that's different, way different than the streets.
They may be separated by 26 fights, but Crawford's record is legendary. With 19 straight world title bouts and undisputed reigns, he's chasing history. He wants to become the first man ever to be undisputed in 3 weight classes, giving props to Claressa Shields for doing it first in women's boxing. "I'm taking the belts," Crawford said, "and there's nothing you can do about it. I promise. I'm not like the others." But Canelo shot back. "You don't look different. There's nothing special." Crawford didn't flinch. "I'm different. You'll see."
Whenever I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running. You know, I could tell you that. But I will be, you know, doing a lot of touching.
Give me ground. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's no Canelo.
Canelo turned pro at just 15, back in 2005. Crawford entered the game a bit later, at 20 years old in 2008, backed by Alalshik. Crawford said this is the fight he's been chasing for years. "I called out Canelo, he's the last big name. From the golden era," he said, referencing legends like Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and Oscar de la Hoya. "He got to fight them. I didn't. This is my moment." Crawford hasn't fought since last August, when he beat Israel Madrimov for the WBA light middleweight title. Meanwhile, Canelo reclaimed his undisputed 168 lb crown in May with a win over William Skull in Riyadh.
I'm very excited, motivated, because this is all about. I want to make history, and I'm very excited for this fight. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. He's not gonna beat me. Don't worry about it. I think this fight is gonna.
Now, the spotlight shines on them both, streaming live on Netflix. From the $1 billion Las Vegas Raiders Stadium, Crawford's confident. Come on, man. You know what I do. I don't need to talk about it, in the streets or the ring. No man's ever gonna whoop me. But Canelo clapped back. This isn't about the streets, he said. This is about boxing, the beautiful sport of boxing.
However they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. It's simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And there's any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's not.
After the fireworks, press conference host Todd Grisham asked where their minds are ahead of the clash. Crawford stayed focused. I'm not thinking about the judges. I'm thinking about what I can control. And that's winning clearly. He added, any fighter can get knocked out. Canelo's tough, no doubt. We've seen him hurt before, but never counted out. Still, under the right conditions, anyone can fall. I've always risen in big moments. This one's no different. Canelo's not taking it from me. And with Crawford jumping up to weight classes, Canelo knows exactly what kind of mountain he's facing.
Fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
But don't forget, Canelo's been the smaller guy in big fights before, and it never stopped him. I've been there, he said. I'm not thinking about size. I just prepare for war every time. Whether my opponent's bigger or smaller, doesn't matter. I train like they're the best. With his eyes locked on victory, he added, I'm a winner. I train to win. That's all I think about. I'm thankful to Netflix, to Turkey, to everyone who made this fight happen. For me, it's about making history, and I'm proud to be part of it.
What did you say from memory that you first thought this fight was a real possibility, that you started thinking about this fight actually happening?
Well, I started thinking about it, a couple of years ago when they started talking about Spence fighting Canelo. Then just, sizing him up, like, all right, how tall is he? How long his arms and things like that. Just sizing him up like that and going to his fights and things like that. And when he...
As the hype builds, both fighters had one final message for their fans. I always bring it. Canelo said, I give my best every time, and I just want to thank you all. I hope you're watching, or right there in the arena, celebrating the win with me. Crawford had a rallying cry of his own, urging his Omaha, Nebraska fans to pull up in style for fight night. And with one final promise, he said, I'm coming to make history, and I'm taking that crown.
I think Canelo's not the same fighter. His punch output's a lot less. What do you think, considering, the last 12 months or so? Is he the same fighter he was maybe a few years ago?
I think he is. I just think, he just wasn't up for the Skull fight. And I think, different fighters bring different, energies out of other fighters.
A lot of people are judging you on the Madrimov fight, saying you struggled moving up in weight. You're going further up in weight, and they're saying that's going to go against you based on the Madrimov fight. How do you kind of reply?
I just tell them, suit up, Crawford said with a grin. We're bringing more jewelry home, and it's going to be an electric day for boxing. If he pulls it off, Crawford will become the first male boxer in history to be a 3-weight, undisputed world champion. The fight is set for Las Vegas Raiders Allegiant Stadium, a 65,000-seater NFL venue. It'll also mark the first ever boxing event promoted by UFC President Dana White's new outfit, Saudi-backed venture with Turkey Al-Alshik that nearly fell apart before recently being revived.
I waste my time with this question.
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick.
Alalshik, however, took center stage, seated prominently at the press conference. While Dana White was absent, the event kicked off with opening words from His Excellency Turki Alalshik, who shared that he had dinner with both fighters the night before. They were respectful, professional until midnight, he joked. But after that, all the prestige was gone. Now the real fight begins.
We'll go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. You waste... Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, it is in the beak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
As the head of Saudi Arabia's General Entertainment Authority, Alalshik has become the driving force behind the kingdom's massive boxing investment over the past 18 months, but he rarely shares the stage with fighters like this. His message was direct: no more Tom and Jerry fights. I want smashing face, he demanded. During the first stop of a 3-city press tour, starting in Vegas and heading to New York, the media was only allowed to ask him questions for the first 25 minutes. This all underscores Saudi Arabia's growing influence in global sports, part of its bid to diversify the economy. But critics argue the surge in sporting presence is really about sports washing. Either way, Alalshik is moving full speed ahead, launching a new series of super fights on Netflix backed by a brand new promotional empire.
This is what I want from you to say his name. I decided with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick, and after that we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. You waste... Oscar
of Turkey's comments, he said he doesn't want Tom and Jerry, people running away in the ring. And what did you make of that?
I agree with that. You know, people want to see a good fight. And I agree with that.
Do you think
because, you know, people come and spend money to see a great fight, and if the other fighter come and run all the night and don't make a good fight, it's deceptional.
Known for his deep pockets and brash statements, Alalshik isn't hiding his expectations. I hate Tom and Jerry boxing, he said again, slamming fighters who dance around instead of engaging. Alvarez and Crawford, I want blood, I want a real fight. This is boxing. While he didn't lay out specifics, his message was unmistakable. Both men are under pressure to deliver fireworks, and with this being the first fight in Alvarez's 5-bout deal with the Saudis, expectations are sky high. His last outing, a flat decision win over William Skull, drew boos from fans who felt Skull ran the whole night.
This question. Of course, it is in the beak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
All right, on the left-hand side here.
Your fight with Skull and potentially came to the conclusion.
We talk after about that, and it's very sad. But, you know, it is what it is.
I know.
I hope not, because we expect a great fight, the fight of the century, right? So I hope not.
Crawford hasn't fought since August 2024, when he beat Israel Madrimov in another uneventful decision. Like Alvarez, he heard boos for a bout lacking knockdowns or drama. Alalshik didn't hold back, hinting he doesn't even want a standard-sized 12x12 ring, implying the fighters need less space to force the action. We talked yesterday, he said. They're pros, but now they know what this fight demands. Still, neither Alvarez nor Crawford seemed fazed by his comments. Come September, at Allegiant Stadium, they know exactly who they're fighting and what's on the line. Undisputed super middleweight glory.
You heard His Excellency saying no more Tom and Jerry, no more running, but you're moving up 2 weight classes. It's not going to be smart for you to stand there and hammer it out with this guy. So how do you kind of balance that, not running, but being elusive in fighting Canelo?
However I gotta fight, I'm gonna win. Simple as that. I'm not gonna let somebody else force me or tell me how to fight when I've been fighting my whole life. You know, I won't be running.
At 37, Terence Crawford is jumping up to full weight classes, 14 pounds, to face Alvarez at super middleweight. Standing toe-to-toe with Canelo might be what Alalshik and fans are hoping for. But Crawford made it clear, he fights on his own terms. No one's going to tell me how to fight, he said. I've been doing this my whole life. I won't be running, but I'll be doing a lot of touching. In fairness to Crawford, before his quiet decision win over Madrimov, he had knocked out 11 opponents in a row. Canelo, 34, still believes this will be one for the ages. It wasn't a good fight, but we won, he said, reflecting on the skull bout. And that's what matters. But not everyone agrees with that.
I call Canelo out because, like I said, he the last great fighter amongst the era that surpassed us. You know, the Floyd, the Pacquiao, the De La Hoya. We both came up in that era, and he was right there with those fighters, and he got the chance to fight the Miguel Cottos, the Floyd Mayweathers, and you know, the Kovalevs and Triple G's, and I wasn't able to get those mega.
If Alvarez had been paying attention at dinner or during the press conference, he'd know that just winning isn't enough for Alalshik, or for many boxing fans these days. But not everyone agrees with that.
Your Excellency, Tazzy Brown from Australia, FightHot.com. First of all, congratulations for everything you've done for boxing since you've come into the game. You gave us many great fights, and you continue, Your Excellency, to keep giving us greater fights. You're a boxing historian yourself. Do you think this fight resembles Marvin Hagler Sugar a bit in the 80s? The fact that Canelo and Terence Crawford are the two great pound-for-pound legends, both first ballot Hall of Famers in the future.
In fact, Canelo hasn't scored a knockout since 2021, when he stopped Caleb Plant in the 11th round. Whether Alalshik brings that up at the next dinner is anyone's guess. Back to business, the press conference wrapped with the traditional face-off. And just like that, all eyes turned to September 13th in Las Vegas, when these two icons battle for undisputed super middleweight gold.
Cannot do.
No, don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter, like I say, he's not Canelo. Obviously, I'm been in this situation for a long time, and I have the experience. They only focus on my power, but I have more than that, and I think this fight is gonna be one of my best fights.
Dramatic music boomed during the stare-down, and it was Alvarez who broke eye contact first, maintaining a cold, emotionless demeanor. Among those weighing in on the fight was Sugar Shane Mosley, a three-weight world champion who faced Canelo back in 2012. Speaking to Boxing Social, he was asked if Crawford, now 37 and moving up to divisions, has what it takes to dethrone Canelo. His answer, no, I just can't see it. Canelo has skills too, he said. If they both fought at 154, maybe, but at 168, I just don't see it happening.
Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think Canelo's too big for Crawford. I think that's the reason why, if Crawford was a mover like the rest of the fight, then maybe he can have a good chance with Canelo. But then I think that being that Crawford is a fighter, that's gonna be his problem. He's a fighter. He wants to fight. He's gonna move a little bit, but his heart is not in moving. So he's gonna have to sit there and fight with Canelo. And if you sit there and fight with Canelo, and he's that much bigger than you, then I don't know.
Canelo has proven to be a major player at super middleweight since he moved up from middleweight back in 2018.
Since moving up to super middleweight in 2018, Canelo has ruled the division, beating names like Gennady Golovkin, Jermall Charlo, and Jaime Munguia. But a win for Crawford would be historic, cementing him as the first male boxer in history to become a three-division undisputed champion. And that's a wrap for now. For the best in boxing news, updates, moments, and more, subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a second. Until next time, stay sharp and stay in the fight.